So I know about these different lifecycle callback methods in theory, but I want to actually see when they're called and in what order they're called. That's going to really help us hunt down what's going wrong in Dessert Pusher. So a simple way to do that, which doesn't require changing around the UI or doing anything too fancy, is to use Android's logging API. This logging API will let me output short messages to a console so that I can view them and see what order they're triggered. And that's ultimately going to help you fill in your lifecycle diagram. So I'm here in the main activity, and I'm going to go ahead and scroll down to onCreate. And I'm just going to write a log message to say onCreate was called. So to do that, I'll go ahead and type log. And now it's going to want me to put something known as the log level, which I'm going to select as I. And then it's going to want a tag, and I'm going to put main activity. And then it's going to want my actual log message, and I'm just going to go ahead here and put onCreate called. Okay, so this tag here, I, is the severity of the log message. If you're new to the concept of logging in general, I've included some details below about this terminology that we're using and when to use different levels. I stands for the info log level, which is what I'm going to be using for these lifecycle logs. Now the tag here is just a short string that's basically saying where you're creating these log messages from. In Android, it's pretty common to put the class name like I'm doing right here. And finally, I have the star of the show, my actual log message. And in my case, it's just saying onCreate was called. Okay, so let's see this in action. I'm going to go ahead and run my app. Okay, and over here I can see the Dessert Pusher is running. But where all of the excitement is taking place is in this logcat window down here. And anytime that you want to view your logs, including system logs, stack traces, etc., you're going to open this logcat window. Meow. Logcat is the tool for getting a dump of all log messages that your device outputs. So let's go ahead and find our log. Okay, here it is. And you can see that it has the package name here, and it has this I here that indicates that we're using the info level logging. And I have my tag here, main activity, and I have my log message. Another thing that you might have noticed, though, is that there's actually a lot of log messages here, and it's kind of hard to find this one log message. And actually, I'm only going to care about the log messages that I generate about lifecycle state. So to get rid of all of this extra, very helpful but not super helpful right now information, Logcat has filtering options up here. Here I can switch between different devices that I might be getting logs from. I'm going to just keep using this emulator. Here I can specify the app that I'm interested in getting logs from, still Dessert Pusher. Here I can specify which of those levels that I'm interested in. And if I pick something like worn, it's going to show me everything worn and above. So because I chose the info level, I'm going to go ahead and select this, and that's going to actually get rid of anything that is debug or verbose. And finally, I've got this search field over here. Now, I know that all my logs are going to have that main activity tag in them, so I'm going to go ahead and type in main activity. So now I'm filtering out most of the log messages. I'll go ahead and put an I in front of it, actually. And there we go. I can see my one log message, and it was called once. Okay, so now what I want you to do is go ahead and close logcat, and I want you to create a log message for yourself in the onStart callback. I'm going to go ahead and get you started overriding onStart. Okay, so the first thing is that we want to actually do that override. I could scroll down here and start typing it out manually, but who has time for that? So we're actually going to go ahead and use a keyboard shortcut right now, and that keyboard shortcut is Control-O. Now, what Control-O does is it opens up a menu for me that gives me a list of basically every single overridable method that I have available to me. And you can actually just start typing on start, and if you don't get the method that you want immediately, you just press the down arrow until you find the one that you're interested in. All right, there we go, on start. Okay, so I've shown you that, so go ahead and add that log message to onCreate, and then override on start and add a log message right here.